My objective as a stake president is to get the members to the temple. That's what I desire most of all. Brethren, I've been reading in To Turn the Hearts, the Leader's Guide to Temple and Family History Work. What I read in this is that temple and family history work is spiritually refining. Members who engage in this work are inspired to live gospel-centered lives and are more likely to participate in personal and family prayer, personal and family scripture study, and regular family home evening. Typically, when members participate in temple and family history work, they are more likely to participate in all other church meetings.
We attended a meeting with a couple called to oversee indexing in the United Kingdom.
I can remember the occasion. I was sitting up at the Stake Centre listening to this presentation, and I had a powerful witness that this was something that I could use as a tool to increase spirituality and worthiness and to increase temple and family history work in our stake. You know that we've set a theme of the Year of Personal Righteousness. As part of our Year of Personal Righteousness, I would like to encourage members to get involved in indexing. We can invite members to make a commitment. We're not going to tell them what they should do, but I think we can invite them to make a commitment as to how many names they will index during the year, or a commitment to get involved in indexing, as well as other things.
When I first learned of indexing as a tool for increasing personal righteousness, I was a little hesitant. I didn't understand how what it seemed to me was a data entry exercise was going to affect the lives of members spiritually.
I kind of didn't catch the vision of doing it for people. I thought we were doing it just for numbers.
I started doing it through obedience, really, and I wasn't enthusiastic at all. Just typing in, that's not what I saw family history as.
And then something interesting began to happen. People began to look at these names in a way that was different. I began to look at these names in a way that was different.
I started indexing because my stake president invited us as the whole stake to index as many names as we could, and once I started I couldn't stop.
She caught the bug.
We kind of knew that we should all be indexing, but it took a 15-year-old to come home and explain how to index.
The spirit I feel when I'm indexing is the same spirit that I feel when I do service. It makes you really happy and you just want to do more and more.
We started looking into my father's family. One night, my husband and I were up till about 2 o'clock in the morning because all of a sudden we just found loads of connections with our family. I was able to share this with my dad, and he got really excited that we were able to do the work for his dad that he's never met.
I think what has come after the indexing has been significant. My son was able to be baptised by his grandfather for his great-grandfather, which all stemmed from indexing.
As I continued with my indexing efforts, within a matter of days, my mind, during the course of entering data, reflected upon great-grandfathers and great-great-grandfathers who hadn't had temple ordinance work performed for them. Consequently, I've now taken to the temple the names of 3 grandfathers.
The product of indexing is a change in a person's heart. You cannot read those names without realising that they are real people. They lived and they died. They had lives, they had families.
When we saw it like that, I saw how every aspect of somebody's life could be improved because they want to make themselves able and eligible to grant people those blessings.
And it's a miracle that something so small and simple can produce that effect on people.
I remember indexing a young boy who was 18 from my hometown, a soldier in the Victorian times. He wouldn't have had a long lifespan. And this was a young man who was hundreds of miles away from home. He was stationed down south when the census was being taken. Now he was getting something special. Now I was doing something that would enable him to achieve something he couldn't do on his own. I see myself as a small cog in allowing others to find their family and to bring them together to the temple.
We saw the number of temple recommend holders increasing. We saw the number of members attending sacrament increasing.
Our last temple trip for baptisms that we had, and normally we would have probably about 5 or 6 youth. We had 20 20-something people go, including young single adults, new members and youth.
Families were sealed in that time, husbands to wives and to children. People were endowed in the temple, and people came to the temple, hadn't been to the temple for years.
Indexing is the work of salvation for the dead. It is part of that process.
I don't know how it works, but by small means, great things are brought to pass. I do believe that.